Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your final day 2 of your Hatha Yoga before moving into Yin. So come on, join me on your mats. We're going to start in our child's pose for as we first meditate and kind of get our minds focused for our practice. So join me. We're going to be sitting on our heels, knees, feet together, and we're reaching out with the arms. That way we can drop the hips down and then lowering that forehead, let it meet onto the mats. So as you're settling into child's pose, nice deep breaths as you are breathing in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. And as you come into child's pose, I want you to think about extending your arms as far forward as you can. So we're not resting the elbows down on the mat, we're actually reaching as far forward as we can, letting the arms stay locked out straight, feeling that sensation through the sides of your upper body, essentially where your lats are at. Arms or your fingertips are spread apart as you're letting the palms press down onto the mats. Breathing through the nose, out the mouth, so you're resting that forehead down. As we're reaching forward, you want to also think about pushing your hips back towards your heels. That way you're elongating your spine in opposite directions. It's being pulled forward as well as it's being pulled behind you, allowing the lengthening of your spine. Still continuing to take those deep breaths as you're here. As you continue to focus on each breath, just take a moment to check in on your body, see how it feels today. What sensations are showing up for you? There's areas that you need to honor more than others, as well as taking a moment to set your intention for today's class. Keep focusing on that breath. Nice deep inhale and long exhales out. Good. We're going to start to bring those hands closer to you so it can help you up, bringing you in a tabletop position. So we're going to come into our cat-cow. So remember, we want our knees not close together, but about hip width apart. Knees are stacked right underneath our hips. Our shoulders and wrists are also stacked in a straight line. And now moving into cat-cow. As we extend, we're inhaling and looking up. And as you exhale, we tuck the chin around the spine. Inhale as you extend and look up. And exhale as you tuck in the chin and round. Inhale as you extend and look up. And as you exhale, tucking the chin and rounding the spine. Keep moving with your breath here. As you inhale, as you extend, tucking the chin and round. Maybe you want to add some side-to-side motions, depending on how that feels for you. I'm noticing there could be a little tightness through the low back, and when I round my spine, that's where I feel like a nice good stretch. So again, listening to that body, noticing what's showing up for you, and seeing what movements feel good that we want to hang out for a quick second or two. Good. Find that stillness. Back into table. We're going to move into a downward dog. So tucking the toes, shooting the hips nice and high. Head press through. We're going to walk it out. So bend one knee, keep the other leg straight. Back and forth. I'm going to see how the calves and hamstrings are feeling. The mobility in your ankles and toes. We want to bend both and straighten out. If that feels good. Shaking the head yes and no. Maybe some side to side movements. whatever feels good for you. Finding that stillness with your downward dog, coming up on the toes and taking one step at a time until you meet your hands at the tops of your mats, toes and feet together. As we come into our forward fold, I want you to, again, just let the upper body hang heavy, kind of let it feel like dead weight as you drop and let the head and neck relax. We're allowing the hamstrings, the glutes, all of that to elongate and stretch. Nice deep breath, allowing that upper body to get closer to the lower body. Adding that positioning of grabbing hold of opposite elbows and ragdoll. Maybe adding a little sway side to side if that feels good for you. Kind of back and forth here. Again, letting the upper body to just relax. Head and neck hanging heavy and no tension in the upper body at all. Good. From here, we're gonna, if your hands are connected to the elbows, go ahead and release. We're gonna come up into halfway lift. So as we come up, we're brushing the shin, pulling the shoulder blades away from the ears, gazing about 45 degrees in front of you as you hold here. So we want to think about keeping the legs nice and straight, squeezing those quads, kind of brings up that patella so your like kneecap slightly lifts. And then as we exhale, we're going to round the spine, allowing the upper body to relax. Inhale, halfway lift, pulling the shoulder blades away from the ears. The muscles in our back are activated, hips are pushing back, creating that L with our bodies. And as we exhale, we round, allowing the chin to kind of roll into the chest. A few more like that. Inhale, bring it up into halfway lift. Hold. And then as we exhale, we round, coming into forward fold. We've got 2 more like that. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulder blades pulled down and back. And as you exhale, you round into forward fold. And last one, inhale, halfway lift. Pull those shoulder blades away from the ears. And as you exhale, you round. From here, we're going to bring it up nice and slowly, one vertebrae at a time. As you take your time to rise, letting the head be the last thing to come all the way up. Wonderful. All right, moving into our side bends with our back bend. So we're going to start in that mountain pose, toes and feet together, arms are by your side, facing the same way as your heart. We're going to bring the arms up on an inhale. Remember, we're trying to keep those pointer fingers pointed, crossing with the thumbs as we interlace our fingers. Biceps to ears. As we begin, take a breath, and as you exhale, you're going to start leaning towards the right as we push the hips towards the left. Gazing forward as you keep the arms straight as best as you can. Again, as you're here, the goal is inch by inch, sinking a little deeper. It may not be as fast, but slight movements are happening here even though we're in stillness. We're continuing to push our hips towards the left as we're leaning towards the right, getting a stretch through the obliques, and also working through your core. Nice, comfortable breaths here. Gripping down with all 10 toes. Squeezing with those quads makes those legs stay nice and strong as they hold here in your foundation. Couple more breaths as you're here, again, trying to keep those arms overhead, pushing the hips towards the left as you lean towards the right. Inhale back to center, taking a breath. And now we're gonna exhale, do the opposite side. So we push the hips towards the right as we're leaning towards the left. And as we're here, we're again pushing towards the right as we're leaning towards the left. Abs are contracted, working through those obliques, keeping the arms lifted overhead as best as you can. Legs are locked out straight, squeezing those quads to slightly lift that kneecap as you continue to push the hip towards the right and leaning towards the left. Gazing forward helps you stay focused with your mind as you stare at something that isn't moving. Couple more breaths here. Nice deep inhales. And last one. And inhale back up. All right, we're gonna drop that head and neck, let it hang heavy, relax. As we squeeze and flex, we're gonna bring the hips forward and now send the upper body back into this back bend. And as you continue to look back and breathe, you're squeezing the glutes, pressing them forward as you lean back. Continue to do so as you push the hips forwards, leaning back. Couple more breaths. And inhale, back up. We're gonna exhale, arms by your side, coming into counter bend into a forward fold, release. Good, one more breath here. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, bring you back to a rise. One more time through that, arms by the side, coming into that mountain pose. As you inhale, bringing the arms up, placing them in the same position as you had before. Taking a breath, and as you exhale, pushing the hips towards the left as you lean towards the right. Getting chest lifted, working through those obliques and abdominals. Trying to keep those arms overhead as you squeeze those quads, keep those legs straight and firm. Nice and strong foundation here as we continue to push the hips towards the left, leaning towards the right. Gazing forward, focusing on something that isn't moving, helps with that mind focus and meditation as you continue to hold here in your asana. Nice deep breath, keeping that focus. One more breath, and on your next inhale, bring it back to center. Taking it to the other side, taking a breath. And as you exhale, push your hips towards the right as you lean towards the left. Arms stay overhead, trying to get those biceps to ears as best as you can as you keep pushing your hips towards the right, leaning the upper body towards the left. Nice deep breaths here. Breathing through it. Squeezing those quads, locking out the knees as you continue to gaze forward. Couple more breaths. Keep that focus. On your next inhale, bring it on up. We're gonna drop that head and neck, let it hang heavy, relax, take a breath. And as you exhale, squeezing the glutes and hips forward as you send the upper body back. Leaning back, looking back as you reach back with the arms. Breathe here. And inhale, bring yourself up. As you exhale, back into forward fold. Wonderful work. Nice deep breathing, letting it all go. But from here, we're going to bend our knees a lot so we can step off on our hands. So fingertips pointing inward, back of the hands are resting on the mats. Keeping our feet together for this one as we try to pull the upper body down. So we're trying to create one unity with upper and lower body, letting that head and neck hang heavy. Thinking about that chin kind of just rolling into the chest. As the goal here is to straighten out those legs as best as you can while maintaining contact from upper body to lower body. Nice deep breath as we're here and breathing. Keeping that focus As you exhale, sinking a little deeper into that stretch. Good, a few more breaths here. Nice deep sensation through the back of the legs. And trying to use that upper body to pull, or the arms to help pull the upper body down. Keeping it as close as I can to the lower body as the lower body starts to straighten out the legs. Slowly release the hands from the feet, keeping the toes, heels, and knees together. We're going to bend the knees so we can send the arms back and then up, bringing us into chair. As we sit down into our chair, keeping our back nice and neutral, arms are overhead to start. We're squeezing those knees and ankles together and working through the leg muscles here. Keeping the tummy tight, engaging the abdominals, keeps that lower back safe, as well as keeps that neutral nice and our spine nice and neutral and long. Gazing forward, pulling the shoulder blades down and back. We're now going to bring our hands to heart center so we can add the twisting with our spine, so an upper body twist. Starting with that right elbow, take a breath, and as you exhale, right elbow to left knee as you lean, come down and connect. We're going to twist with the head and look behind you, behind that left shoulder. Staying nice and low here as you're gripping down with your toes. We're twisting with our upper body. Nice deep breaths as you keep that focus. Good, keeping it here and breathe. Working through the legs with each breath, trying to look a little further back. Good. Inhale, we're going to bring ourselves back to center. And as we exhale, taking that left elbow to right knee, getting nice and low and twisting over that right shoulder. Keeping the hands in that prayer position as you're twisting, looking over that right shoulder. Gripping down with the toes, keeping a good solid foundation. Working through the legs here. Almost there. A couple more breaths. Use that oxygen to help bring more energy to your body. Good, and then inhale back. Center, arms overhead, straighten out. And then as we exhale, arms by the side. Well done. All right, we're gonna move on to our eagle pose, but this is a great time to grab that sip of water if you'd like. All right, eagle is that one that we kind of like try to wrap our arms around each other and legs, creating that rope. So we're gonna start with the left arm underneath. So remember, it's all about getting low and using that momentum as fast as you can. So go ahead and bring the arms up. And as you exhale, get low, wrapping that right arm underneath the left underneath the right. Now we're gonna take that right leg and bring it up and over the left. So we've got right arm wrapping around the left arm. We've got right leg wrapped around the left leg. So I'm on my standing left leg. As I'm here, again, is trying to keep that chest lifted. I'll show you on that second side from a side view on what that looks like. But for the front, you want to make sure elbows or knees are stacked. The left knee right now is bent, keeping a good solid base there, working through the quad, keeping the elbows up, not too far down, keeps the chest lifted. Arms are connected as close as you can. No bending of the wrists. The wrists are neutral. That way I can look in front, kind of stare at something that isn't moving to allow myself to stay focused on my posture, my pose here as I breathe. Good, one more breath here. Good, and slowly release, inhale up. We're gonna move on to the second side, but I'm gonna show from a side view as you exhale. Now right arm goes underneath, getting nice and low, wrapping and just making sure those wrists stay neutral. Getting nice and low, taking that left leg, bringing it up and over. Remember, if you can't get your feet to wrap around, you can always just be here, pointing the toe down. Keep those knees nice and tight. And again, from the side view now, you can see that my spine stays neutral. I'm not totally rounding, no hyperextension, kind of similar to our chair. So as I'm here, trying to keep the arms and legs wrapped together, creating that rope, squeezing everything nice and tight, gripping with the toes, nice weight distribution even throughout the foot, gazing forward here as I breathe. Nice deep breathing, keeping that focus. And one more breath. Slowly release the legs, arms up, and then arms by the side. All right, moving towards the backs of your mats, we have our standing head to toe. So for this one, remember, it's all about trying to keep that leg straight while you are coming down, grabbing hold of the foot and extending out. So starting with your left leg, be the standing leg, we're gonna come down, bring that knee up. If you're ready, come join me and grab a hold of that foot. Also, there can always be a wall, a chair if you need that support. If you're doing it freestanding like me, you're grabbing hold of the foot from the bottom. And then if you're ready, you're extending that leg out. So I'm squeezing the quads, trying to lock out the knees. As I'm here and breathing, gazing forward, staring at something that isn't moving to help with that balance. Again, nice deep breaths. As I'm holding here, squeezing the muscles helps create that stability. Keeping that concentration as I focus on something that isn't moving. Got a couple more breaths here. If you've fallen out, that's totally fine. You can slowly make your way back. And then as you slowly release, bring that knee in and down. Okay, second side. Keeping that right leg straight and locked out straight. We're inhaling, bringing that left leg up. Once again, you can use other things to help with balance. If you're free standing like me, you're here. And then when ready, start to kick out. The goal is kicking out, holding it out there, trying to keep that knee straight. And if you lost it like I did, that's okay. You just slowly bring yourself back. And holding it there, finding that position, and then when ready, hold it out. Out and hold and breathe. Keep it there. Goal is to squeeze those quads. Focus on your position. Nice deep breaths. Couple more breaths. Keep that focus. Staring at something that isn't moving. And then gently bring yourself down. Awesome. All right, moving on to our standing bow. So for this one, being more in the center of your mat, we're gonna start with that left leg. So essentially, that right knee is gonna bend. Remember, we're grabbing a hold from the inside, not traditionally like we would for a quad stretch from the outside. So go ahead and grab that foot. If you're using that left arm for balance, you can go ahead and grab a hold of whatever it is that you're using for support. If you're freestanding like me, you're gonna inhale, bring the left arm up. And now as we're ready, we're gonna start to kick out. So as we're kicking up and out with the left, we're reaching with the right, with the left hand. So kicking with the right as you're reaching with the left. I'm kicking and reaching as I kick and I reach. Goal is to squeeze the left quad, locks out that leg. As you kick and reach, we kick and reach. Good, keep it there. A couple more breaths. Kicking and reaching, and slowly bring yourself down. All right, very nice. Second side. So right leg's gonna be the standing leg, bringing that foot on the inside on the left side. Inhale, bring that right arm up. And as you're ready, start to kick. So kicking into the hand as you're reaching with that right arm. We're kicking and we're reaching. Kicking and reaching. Nice. Deep breathing as you're kicking and reaching. God, keep that focus. Kick and reach. Kick and reach. Kick and reach. Good, and then on your next breath, slowly bring yourself down. All right, awesome. Last one here before we move into our straddle. So bringing myself closer more towards the back of my mat for that warrior three, arms overhead, and as we lean into it or step into it. So we'll start with that left leg first. Go ahead. I was kind of demonstrating. Let's start over. So arms by the side. Inhale, bring the arms up, interlace and reach up. Take a breath, take that left leg, step it forward. And as we exhale, come on down. So pointing with the back toes as you're reaching forward, gazing down, flexing through the muscles of the legs, as well as the arms as you reach forward. Goal is to look down, keep that balance on that one leg as you're breathing here. Nice deep breaths, trying to create that T with the body. Good, keep it there. And breathe. Couple more breaths. Good, and then inhale back up. Step it together with the arms by the side. So the same way as we get into it is the same way you come out of it. Same thing, a second side. Inhale, bring the arms up. Now we take a breath, take that right leg, step forward, and as we exhale, coming on down. Again, pointing with the back toes, reaching forward with the arms, chest lifted. As we're here and breathe. Nice deep breath, gazing down. Good, keeping that focus. Again, looking down, keeping that neck neutral and long. Creating that T with the body. Breath through, and then slowly on your next breath, bring it forward and then down. Wonderful. All right, next is our straddle. So facing the right side. Great time to grab that sip of water if you'd like. So we're facing the right side of our mats. Feet are further than hip width apart. I'm grabbing that block because I like to have something for my crown of my head to press down on. It's totally up to you if you want to grab a hold of something or just have it empty. Arms by the side, and we're going to start by leading with the heart. We're going to come down and just place our hands on the mat. So take a breath, and as you exhale, slowly come on down. Leading with the heart, releasing the hands, dropping the head. So as we settle into that straddle,
Finding what works for you. We're thinking crown of the head, meeting the mat as we squeeze those quads, as we lock out the knees. Gentle breaths. Nice deep inhale, long exhales out. Got a few more deep breaths here. Recentering that mind, rechecking the body. Allow the muscles to elongate. Just a great time when something's more still to just check in and see how things are doing. Good. Slowly lift the chest up. Place the hands on the waist and inhale to rise. All right, we're gonna rotate towards the backs of our mat. So right foot's forward while the left's behind. And now I'm going on the balls of that back foot and I'm gonna bend that right knee, coming into crescent lunge. So as I come into crescent, right foot's forward, left foot is behind me. I'm sitting down. So my goal is to not be here and feeling no benefit. You want to bring your feet further out if you can. Drop the hips. That way you're on the ball of that back foot. Right knee is bent. Gazing forward towards the backs of your mats, chest lifted, biceps to ears. Squeeze that left quad. That way you're working through the muscles. Deep breaths here. Keeping that focus. If you're ready to add that twist, bringing that left arm right next to that right foot as you're twisting, reaching up high with that right arm. You can also, so I have here a block. You can, if you can bring it all the way down, you're bringing that hand right next to foot. But do know there are supports that you can use to help you. Keep the hips down as you reach up nice and high. Got a few more breaths. Maybe lean back, see how that feels. Good, and exhale, bring the arm right next to the foot so we can bring yourself up, and we're gonna rotate to the other side. So now left foot forward, right foot ball of that back foot, and as you exhale, bending of that knee, reaching up with the arms. Chest is lifted, gazing forward. Goal here, knee top of ankle, squeezing of that right quad, locking out that back leg. Chest lifted, biceps to ears. Nice deep breathing as we're holding here. Good, as you continue to continue that focus. If you're ready, you can bring that block down next to that left foot, right hand down as you're reaching up high. Having something to help you, or placing that right hand right next to that left foot as you're coming down and reaching. And trying to get nice and low with the hips as you're reaching up towards that left side, facing the front of your mats. A little back bend if you'd like as you reach. And exhale, bring the hands down, straightening out that leg, and slowly come up, rotating that foot so you can come back into straddle. This time we're gonna go ahead and interlace our hands from behind us, adding that shoulder stretch. Taking a breath, and as you exhale, slowly bring yourself down. Once again, if you want something to help help you with that reinforcement of crown of the head towards the mat, you can do so. And then when ready, go ahead and start pulling your arms away from the body, allowing that shoulder stretch. Finding that distance that feels good, a little sensation, maybe just a deep stretch. And remember, no sharp pains. We don't want to hurt our bodies. Getting to a place that feels slightly uncomfortable but still manageable is important. Nice deep breaths. But allowing gravity to take over here. Got a few more breaths. And slowly bring the arms back to the body. Inhale to rise, bringing your hands and feet together at the tops of your mats. All right, moving into pyramid. So we'll begin by bringing our left foot behind us, bringing our front foot in front. Quarter of a turn with that back foot. Hips stay squared. Inhale, bring the arms up. And as we exhale, a little bend of that front knee as you come down, rounding the spine. Chin into chest as we tuck the chin. Nice deep breathing here. We want to think about trying to get that forehead to meet our knee as best as you can. And then as we keep that connection, the goal is to slowly start to straighten that right leg out. Again, nice deep breaths here. Trying to straighten out that right leg while staying connected forehead to knee. Got a few more breaths. And then we slowly rebend that front leg. Inhale to rise. Bringing your hands and feet together at the top. Second side, taking that right foot, bringing it back. Remember the distance, just about how we do with our warrior one and triangle, not as wide as the others. Bringing the arms up on the inhale, slight bend of that left leg. As you exhale, slowly descend down. Once you get down, we want to get that forehead to meet the knee as best as you can, tucking that chin into chest. Once you've got that connection, even if it means a bigger bend of that knee, the goal is to slowly straighten that leg out. Nice deep breaths. Allowing those muscles to elongate and stretch. Good, still working here through the muscles in the backs of the legs. Trying to also keep that connection with forehead to knee. Good, a few more breaths as you continue to work on straightening that front leg. Slowly rebend. Inhale to rise. Bringing your hands and feet together at the top. Moving on into our tree pose, starting with the left being our standing leg. So placing that right foot either at the ankle, the calf, on the inner part of your thigh, or on top, never on the knee. So find that placement that works for you. If you're holding onto your foot with the left hand, just place that right arm in the center in that prayer position. If you're able to connect both arms together, then place them like so. Finding that tree pose that works for you and hold it there. Staying connected with your pose and your breath as we hold here and breathe. You're ready to extend the arms. Start lifting them up, reaching up nice and high. allows for that spine to slightly elongate and a little reach of the chest as you hold here. Good, bracing with the core, staring at something that isn't moving. A couple more breaths. Good, and then slowly bring the arms down to release the foot. All right, other side. So planting that right foot, placing the left in the same position as you did with the right, bringing the hands, at least to start, at heart center. Finding that placement in your tree as you hold here and breathe, keeping that focus. That meditation practice, centering the mind, refocusing on that breath, and then ready, reaching up with the arms, lifting up the chest. Good, keeping that focus here. Nice and strong tree pose. And then slowly bring the arms down and release the foot. All right, very good. Come on down, moving on to our floor sequence. We're going to start by laying on your backs in Savasana. So go ahead and make your way down. Nice deep breathing. Grab that sip of water if you need it. Start focusing with just our breath. So as you lay here, nice deep breaths, letting it all go. Rechecking with your body again, seeing what sensations were brought up or what you're noticing with your body. All right, we're going to bend that right knee so we can interlace our fingers. And we're going to pull that knee in towards the outside part of your chest. So go ahead and begin pulling. So we're squeezing that knee towards us, not directly on top of the rib cage, but more towards the side. As you're holding here and you're squeezing, deep breaths here. Again, we're just keeping that knee towards the body, working through our hip flexors here. Nice deep breaths as you hold and breathe. Squeezing that knee in. Arms are the only thing working. Legs are staying nice and relaxed. Couple more breaths as you hold here and squeeze. Go ahead and gently release. All right, taking it to the other side. So grabbing hold of that left knee, bend it, interlace our fingers. Taking a breath in as you exhale, start squeezing that knee towards the outside part of your chest, towards that left armpit. Here and squeeze. As you hold. Good. Continue to squeeze. Hold it there. Nice deep breathing. Working through the arms, legs are staying nice and relaxed. And gently release. And let it go. All right, we're going to bring both knees in this time, grabbing hold of opposite elbows, giving yourself a nice tight squeeze. Nice loving hug. Legs are nice and tight, grabbing hold of those elbows and just squeezing. Hold it there. Trying to get the face to meet your knees as best as you can. Deep breathing. Hold and squeeze. And gently release. We're going to straighten out the legs so we can do a little core work here. And then as we slowly come on down, we're just going to fight gravity, slowly guiding the legs down, working through the abs, and then gently release. Coming into those flutter kicks, so we're doing 15. Arms are by the side for support, or you can sit on top of your hands. We're going to lift the head and neck and shoulder blades off the mat. So lift as well the legs up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Very nice. Bring the knees in. And a little rock side to side. Rock forward and back. So you can have a seat, extending the legs out, coming into our forward fold. Flexing the feet to start. Inhale the arms up. And as you exhale, reach forward, dropping the head and neck, letting it hang heavy. So using those arms to help pull the upper body down. Remember that we're just taking nice deep breaths here as we pull the body. As you breathe, inch by inch, sinking a little deeper into that stretch. If you can't hold of the toes, you're pulling down and reaching for the shin or the ankles. And we're here taking nice deep breaths, using the arms to help pull the upper body down. And then on your next inhale, slowly come up, and we're gonna flip onto our bellies. So flipping over, facing the front of your mats with your head, backs of your mats with your feet, bringing your arms close together underneath the armpits. We're gonna come into cobra. So legs stay relaxed, and as we inhale, slowly come up. So the goal is to pull the shoulder blades down and back. We're working through the middle of the back here, along with the arms, keeping them bent and pushed down, working through the biceps, a little bit of that triceps as well, and not letting the shoulder shrug. So that's where the back muscles come in as we pull the shoulder blades down and away from the ears. Gazing forward, continuing to breathe. A couple more breaths here. Pressing down with the palms. Again, not letting the shoulders shrug up, pulling them down and back. Breathe, and then slowly descend down, placing that right ear on the mat, arms by the side as you rest. Nice deep breathing, letting it all go. All right, moving into our lotus. So arms are by the side into a T, toes and feet together. We're gonna inhale and then rise. So nice deep inhale and lift up. So as if you're flying in air, hips are pressing down as you're reaching up with the arms and legs, trying to keep those toes and heels together. Flexing through the hamstrings and glutes, all the back muscles of the backs of your legs working as well as the low back. A little bit of the upper middle as you're reaching up and holding here for 7, for 6,
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax, dropping that left ear onto the mat, arms by the side as you rest. Good, one more breath. All right, moving into bow pose. This one, we bend our knees a lot. We're gonna reach back for our ankles, grabbing hold of the feet from the outside. Take a breath, and as you exhale, you're kicking into your arms, allowing the legs to lift up as you kick, lifting of the chest slightly, squeezing through the quads. So we're kicking into our hands, holding here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently bring it down. Right ear rests down on the mat. Arms not nice by your side. All right, bringing your hands underneath you to help lift you up. Coming into that deep quad stretch, so where the knees are together, feet are rolled on by the sides. Using a block from my support, but again, if you're able to sit in between your heels, you're doing so. And then the goal is to start to lean back. So if you need that support like I need, then you can grab a stack of books, placing if you have that yoga block underneath you, and then just find that good placement. And then leaning back, you get onto the forearms, and if you can, all the way flattening the back, letting the head and neck drop heavy. Deep breaths here. This one's a really deep squat stretch. So again, if this does not feel good for you, you can totally hop out from it, resting either in Savasana or Child's Pose. A few more breaths here. Even just sitting in that position can be good enough. On your next inhale, slowly come up. All right, and then we're gonna come onto the knees. Moving on to our camel. So for camel, we wanna place our feet at that 90-degree bend. This is our final back bend. So for this one, remember, we're gonna push the hips forward, squeeze those glutes as we send our upper body back. Place your hands on that low back, take a breath. And as you exhale, push the hips, send the upper body back. And then when ready, reaching for your ankles and hold it there. As you gaze behind you and breathe, we're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring yourself up. Do a little counter bend with the Child's Pose. Good. And then slowly bring yourself onto a seated position. All right, straddle stretch. So we're gonna start with that left foot forward. Right knee bends. For this one here, reaching with the arms, and as you exhale, reach forward, dropping that forehead down. Grabbing hold of your toes, shin or ankles, if needed. We're thinking forehead to knee as best as we can. Taking those deep breaths. Good, as you're here and breathing.
but allowing the mind to stay connected with your body and the breath. Nice deep breaths. Inhale, slowly come up. We're going to go ahead and drop that right foot some shifting so I can place it onto the mat. Right arm is down, reaching up for a side plank, a little back bend if you'd like. And the same thing, drawing the hips forward to exhale, bring yourself down. All right, moving to the other side. So right leg forward, left knee bends. Inhale, bring the arms up, and as you exhale, reach forward, dropping that forehead down. Nice deep breath. Again, forehead to knee. As we're here and breathing. We're going to sink a little deeper into that stretch. Good. Inhale to rise. Shift your body and leg down. That way you can bring it down onto the mat. Right leg straight, coming onto the knee, reaching up nice and high. A little back bend if you like, pressing through with the hips. And then slowly bring yourself down. Returning that left leg back in front, we're going to cross that right knee over for a seated spinal twist. Left arm goes on top of that right knee as your right arm goes behind you, twisting, looking over that right shoulder. As we're here, nice deep breaths. As you exhale, the goal is to twist and look further behind that shoulder. As we're breathing, and slowly release. Other side, right leg straightens as the left knee bends. Taking that right arm, placing it over the knee, looking over that left shoulder. As we're twisting, looking over the left shoulder, nice deep breaths. Got a few more breaths here. As we're twisting and breathing. And then we slowly release. All right, we're gonna come onto our backs. Make sure that you're able to come all the way back, so shift that weight. Grabbing hold of your foot from the outside for happy baby. Well done, everybody. We've made it through this practice. Congratulate yourself with those nice deep breaths. And go ahead and let go of those feet. Let them hang down long as we rest here in our final Savasana. So as you lay into your final Savasana, allow that body to just melt into the mat. Again, refocusing on that deep inhalation, long exhale out. As we begin to relax that forehead, letting that tension go. Same thing with the jaw. Relax the jaw, letting the tongue touch the tips of your mouth. Allowing the shoulders to melt onto the mat, as well as that back, the hips, the knees, the ankles, and the toes. Letting the fingertips curl in naturally, and allowing the feet to roll on the sides. Continuing to take those deep breaths as you focus on your breath and lay here in stillness. As we slowly start to awaken, start by wiggling your fingers and your toes. Roll to one side, creating that pillow with the arm underneath, stacking your knees together. Take a breath here, and then slowly bring yourself to seated position. Well done, everybody. Namaste. Congratulations on making through your Hatha Yoga of your day 2 of the week. Don't forget your reflections, and we'll see you all next week for Yin Yoga. Till then.